Good morning. I'm back again for another edition of A Day in the Life. This is Glenn. So, apparently, the Democrats were holding some shadow hearings yesterday, exposing the Trump regime and its corruption. They apparently had a whistleblower on named Liz Oyer, I want to say she is. She's like a pardon attorney. It's been getting a lot of viewership on social media. A lot of the things that legacy media really has not been carrying. Um, these hearings were run by Senator Schiff and Representative Raskin. And when those two are doing something, it's usually pretty on the up and up, and it ain't going to be no BS. Apparently, there were some things that went on where she was dealing with some cases, and she had like 9 different cases, I guess, that she had gotten a message that I guess the president or someone higher up wanted her to pardon. And one of the people that they wanted to pardon was the actor Mel Gibson. She refused. She just basically said no. So apparently the powers that be didn't like her answer, and she winds up getting fired. See, usually the repukes, I like to call the Republicans the repukes. Anytime we have these types of hearings, they always want to talk about Hunter Biden and the things that are going on with him, which really are non-stories. That's been taken care of. Everyone's moved on from that. And what I think the Democrats wanted to do is to just focus on the Trump corruption. Because while this corruption is going on, their attacks are on the Department of Justice, law firms, and colleges. So I think with this this round of hearings, this Liz Oyer person, she's a key witness who worked in the Justice Department. And as I said before, she was fired because the Trump regime demanded that she look to and issue a recommendation to get a pardon for Mel Gibson, which would restore his rights to get back a firearm. But because of his past of potential domestic abuse and other conduct, she couldn't pardon this guy. And I think 9 times out of 10, that would normally be the case. You don't pardon someone who has not given you ample reason to pardon him. He's not shown what needs to be shown in order for her to grant a pardon to him. So because she decided not to issue him a pardon, the Department of Justice, the heads of the DOJ, were not pleased with her answer. And what this regime has been doing, they've been intimidating people. They've been threatening people. They did the same thing to her. She was out with her family, and marshals were going to show up to issue her a letter or whatever, when all they really need to do is pick up the phone and call her. So what happened was she shows up to work at the Department of Justice the next day and was fired, then threatened and intimidated. And that letter that I just mentioned, saying she was in breach. They threatened her job. They threatened to take her license to practice. She didn't waver. Because I think the whole thing was they knew she was supposed to testify at this hearing, and they were trying to bully her and threaten her into not testifying. But she did show up. But before showing up, the Trump regime, through the U.S. Marshals, were prepared to send armed U.S. Marshals to her home to serve her with this letter. If she testified, they would go after her. She testified to some of the things that they did, and they were quite concerning. Schiff got up and asked a really good question. He's like, what would you have done if you were faced with the loss of your job, if you were faced with the loss of your livelihood? How would you handle it? You're either going to stand on principle or you're going to cave. She didn't cave. She just didn't care. She had a job to do. She had a code to withhold. She knew what her job was. She understood the assignment, and she carried through. All they really needed to do was place a call to her at some point. They didn't do that. They decided to send her an email. Now, how often do you guys get to read your email? Sometimes I don't get to see my email all day. So instead, that was inappropriate according to the letter from her lawyer, because her lawyer sent a letter to the powers that be at the Department of Justice, making them aware that she had her own attorney and was letting the Department of Justice know, this Blanche guy, that they were in violation. They broke every rule in the book, and the way they stated things in the letter that they sent to her, that was inappropriate. Things that should have been in that letter weren't. It was clear in the letter that she was being threatened. So she's fighting for her job back. Will she get a job back? I don't really know. But I commend her for standing up for what she believes in. I commend her for telling the truth and for outing these assholes. But this is the Trump regime. This is what they do. They're trying to instill fear in everyone. She wasn't having it, and I'm happy that she did what she had done. So I will continue to follow this story, and what I find out, I will continue to relay, because I'm not sure if there are more days of hearings. I will continue, because I'm getting a lot of my information from the Midas Touch, and they're so good at getting you information and letting you know. So what I find out, or either on my own, or sometimes I'll catch some things from them, and then I relay some things as I hear them. We're in really such dark times, and it's really sad to say. Now, you Republican constituents, this is what you asked for. You don't mind having a treasonous person in power. He breaks every rule in the book. You guys can't sit here and tell me that he's appropriate for the presidency. He's not fit to be the president. He put all these goons in places that are yes men to him, and only to him. You see how he moves. You see how he handles the media. You see how disrespectful he is to anyone who asks a real question that he doesn't like. He besmirches people. He brutalizes people. He's disrespectful. The only ones he does laud are those who kiss his damn ring. That's and you sit there when they're having their little briefings and everybody at the round table in his cabinet, they're kissing his ass. It's sickening. That's what he wants. He wants to be a king. He wants everyone around him to be his subjects. And now he's trying to make it so he can do whatever he wants. He wants to be above the law. He wants to be above the fray. And the fact that the Supreme Court gave him that immunity clause, that's the worst thing they could have did. But they did it because they're in his pocket as well. I believe all these people are getting some kind of kickback. All this money is going around that's being made. I think they're all getting their pockets lined. It's a huge grift. Everybody that's in his cabinet are either billionaires or millionaires. They don't have a clue what it's like to struggle. They don't have a clue what it's like to be poor. And I don't understand how some of you who insisted on voting him in couldn't see that. Look at where we are now. We have no good relationships with anyone of our allies, especially Canada. Now Congress is trying to come up with a bill to kill these tariffs against Canada. The only way that bill is going to work, you're going to have to get some Republicans to side with some Democrats. And I think you're going to get some. I don't know how many. Because Trump has gone a little too far in what he's doing. So what I'm hoping is these Republicans use some common sense and make this bipartisan and come up with the right decision when they vote on this. It's quite shameful what they did to this woman. I hope she's able to get her job back. I honestly don't know why she would want that job back working under that kind of pressure. This whole corrupt crew needs to go. And unfortunately, we got 3 years and 9 months left of this bullshit. Well, that's all I have. God bless you. I'm going to pray for our country. I'm going to pray for our government. And I'm going to pray that God makes this right. Remove the evil that's in power now. By any means necessary. I don't care. But they got to go. You guys have a wonderful rest of your day. I'll keep working on all this information and bringing it to you as soon as I get it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and even share if you feel that it's something worthy to be shared. We'll talk again soon.